Greetings, Shiloh Nation. My name is Yolanda Hunter from Omega Baptist Church, where the Reverend Joshua Ward is the senior pastor. I'm so honored to be with you during this training session and would like to give a very special shout out to my friend and my brother, Tommy McGuffey, for this awesome opportunity. This is going to be an interactive session, but I promise not to hold you too long, okay? So let's get started. The topic of our discussion today will be breathing. Yes, breathing. Not just the involuntary nature of breathing, but we're going to discuss the need to be intentional with our breathing as we sing. So first, let's just take a look at what actually happens when we breathe. As we inhale, the diaphragm pushes downward. The lungs expand, making room for the air being brought in through the nose or the mouth. As we exhale, the diaphragm pushes upwards. The lungs become smaller and compressed, and the air is forced back out through the nose or the mouth. Now again, this happens naturally, but the problem that we face as singers is underutilizing our full capacity of our lungs, as well as mismanaging that air supply. For example, have you ever experienced a tension or tightening within your throat while you're singing? Or maybe had trouble holding a note for more than 5 seconds or so? Or perhaps you felt a straining or a weakening of your voice while singing in a particular range. Well, all of those issues, amongst some other things, are caused by improper breathing techniques. You see, effective singing involves the entire body, not just the voice, and proper air support is at its core. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to take you through an assessment that will serve as a baseline for you so you can track your improvement. Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to have you take in a series of deep breaths. But as you do that, I want you to take in some observations, all right? I want you to take note of what exactly is happening throughout your body. I want you to maybe consider when you're taking a deep breath, are your shoulders, is there a rise and fall in your shoulders, okay? As mentioned earlier, do you feel any tension in your neck when you're taking your deep breath, okay? Take a note of whether or not your abdomen expands when you inhale. Does it contract when you exhale? Okay, just take a note of what all's going on. Is your breath audible? Okay, take a note of all of those things, okay? I'm going to give you a few more seconds to do that. Now, I want you to remember those things, okay? Because hopefully, as you go through some of the exercises that I'm going to show you later, hopefully you'll be able to see a difference in your breathing. All right. So now we have another exercise that's also a part of this assessment, if you will. Okay. We're going to take in a deep breath and we're going to exhale it with a hissing sound. Okay. But before you do that, I have a few more instructions to go along with that, all right? This exercise is going to assess your lung capacity. In a sense, how much air are you taking in when you take in that deep breath? The other thing it's going to assess is how well you control that breath as you exhale. How is that going to happen? Okay, listen. You should be able to take a full 30 seconds to expel that air. 30 seconds. If you can't make it that long, it's okay because we're going to build up to that, okay? But you want to try. Now, I'm going to admonish you not to cheat. you're gonna feel like, okay, I need to, if you finish at 10, I need to make it to 30 seconds, so I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna take in another deep breath. No, don't do that, because you're only gonna cheat yourself. All right, you want to have a honest assessment of where you are. Okay, I'm gonna count to 30 seconds, and then I just want you to take note of where you stop. All right, so again, take a deep breath in and exhale on a as controlled as you can. You ready? I'm gonna count down for you. Ready? Deep breath in and exhale. Okay. How'd you do? Did you make it? Did you have air left over after the 30 seconds? Okay. If you did not make it to 30 seconds, remember, don't be too upset about it. Don't stress over it, okay? Because we're gonna help you. We're gonna help you strengthen that air support, and your singing is gonna be so much better as a result of it. All right. Before we do the exercises, though, before we begin to strengthen that breathing support for you, we have to first establish a solid foundation. Just like building a house, you have to lay the foundation first before you build it. All right. So these exercises that I'm going to give you, you can do them either sitting or standing, but I want to ensure that you are using proper posture. All right. I use this analogy with my children in children's choir. I talk about a straw. The purpose of a straw is to allow fluids to flow freely from your cup to your mouth. Correct? All right. If there's a kink in that straw, if you bend it, it's not going to operate the way it's intended. All right. Your body is the same way. Your breathing canal, it works the same way. If you're not in a proper stance or using proper posture when you sing, that flow of air is not going to be able to travel freely, okay, and give you the support you need. So let's make sure that we're using proper posture. If standing, there should be an imaginary straight line between your ears and your ankles. The chin is parallel with the floor, shoulders are down and relaxed, the chest is open, and your hips are in alignment with the spine, neck, and shoulders. Do not lock your knees, and ensure that your feet are shoulder width apart with your weight evenly distributed. If seated, maintain that same imaginary line between your ears and your hips. Your feet should be flat on the floor for maximum support. The remainder of this session will focus on what we call 360-degree breathing. 360-degree breathing. All right? 360-degree breathing utilizes three muscle groups: the abdomen, the back, and the intercostal muscles, which in essence is your rib cage. All right? Now, these three muscle groups encompass the lungs. They surround the lungs. Okay, so it stands to reason that if the lungs are to fully expand, that these three muscle groups need to expand as well, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to isolate these three muscle groups, and we're going to practice expansion in all four areas: front, back, left, right. Okay, 360 degrees. We're going to start with the abdomen. So again, standing or sitting, whichever is most comfortable for you. All right. I want you to start by placing your palm of your hand up against your abdomen. See if I can stand a little bit. Up against your abdomen. Forgive me in position, you all. It's COVID-19. We isolated, all right? All right. I want you to take the palm of your hand in proper posture, whether you're seated or standing. Place the hand right above your belly button. Well, your belly button's right here, under your rib cage area. All right. All right. Now, as you inhale, your abdomen should expand, and then as you exhale, it should come back in. All right. Let's take a few deep breaths. I told you it was going to be interactive. All right. Don't cheat on me. Don't cheat. All right. Hand on your abdomen. Taking a deep breath. And exhale. Deep breath in. And exhale. Another deep breath in. And exhale. Whew. That felt good, right? You okay? All right. Now let me remind you. Maybe I didn't say this earlier. When you're taking in this deep breath, I did ask you to observe it and see if this happens with you. But you should not be doing this. You ever gone to the doctor and they say taking a deep breath, and first thing we do is essentially you're only really filling the top portion of your lungs, okay? You have all of this we're trying to fill. All right? So make sure you're taking a proper deep breath. All right? So, that was the abdominal breathing. Now let's work on our intercostal muscles, which, as I stated before, is basically our rib cage. Okay, so standing or seated, whichever you choose. I want you to take your hands and put them on either side, right around your rib cage. Okay. Then when you take in this deep breath, we just did the abdomen, but this time we should feel an expansion here in your sides, your intercostal muscles. All right, you ready? Focusing on the intercostal. Deep breath in and out. You feel that? Deep breath in and out. You may be able to see it a little bit on the video. I'm not sure. Deep breath in and out. Good. You got it? If you don't quite feel it happening right now, practice makes perfect. Okay? I just want to show you what to do, and then you can practice that on your own. All right? Back muscles. Again, palm of your hands right up against this back muscle. Now, these muscles are a little bit harder to isolate, all right? And it may take time to really get those to move, or be able to really feel it happening, okay? But again, practice makes perfect, and I'm going to give you a series of exercises to do to enhance this, okay? I'm talking too much. Anyway, hands on your back. Again, deep breaths in, and you should feel a small expansion coming this way, all right? Deep breath in and exhale. Deep breath in and exhale. One more. Deep breath in and exhale. All right. Relax. Take a break. Whew. I told you this was going to be interactive. Okay, so now what we've done is we've isolated 3 different muscle groups. We did an exercise to isolate the abdominal muscles for anterior expansion. We've isolated the intercostal or rib cage area to practice and focus on expansion laterally. All right. And then we did an exercise to isolate our back muscles in order to focus on posterior expansion. All right. So imagine all three muscle groups working together in tangent as we take in this deep breath. Okay, and then you add the drop of the diaphragm, then voila, you have complete expansion of your lungs. It's a whole area in which you're able to fill with air, and then you're able to expel that air and support this beautiful music that's coming from this instrument that God has given you. Intentionality is the key to proper breath support. Yes, we breathe naturally. It's a gift given to us by God. But we must be intentional with our breathing as we sing. All right? We can't just do it haphazardly, or you're going to run into some of those issues that I mentioned before. The director wants you to hold the note and you feel like you're about to pass out because you don't have enough air, because you were not intentional with your deep breath, and then you were not intentional with how you expelled that deep breath. All right? So, looking at the three exercises we've done, isolating the abdominal muscles, isolating the intercostal muscles or the rib cage area, and the back muscles. This is what you're going to do. You want to isolate each muscle using 10 breaths, 3 sets, 30 seconds between each set. Let me break that down a little bit. We're going to do the abdominal breathing. Okay, 10 deep breaths, isolating the abdomen. 10 breaths, 3 sets with 30 seconds in between. Then you want to do the same thing for your intercostals. Isolate these muscles. 10 breaths, 3 sets, 30 seconds between each set. Then you want to do the same thing for your back muscles. 10 breaths, 3 sets, 30 seconds between each set. All right? Then we want to put this thing together. Now you want to take 10 breaths using all of your muscles. All right? Let's go back to our assessment. No. When you take in this deep breath, you now know where you should breathe from. Breathe from your abdomen, your intercostals, and your back. And all of that would allow your diaphragm to drop, thereby allowing your lungs to fully fill with air. All right. So you're going to do 360-degree breathing. 10 breaths, 3 sets, 30 seconds between each set. You got it? You got it. Last exercise. We're going to go back to our assessment again. Remember that 30-second expel? 30 seconds. That's your goal. If you didn't make it before, I'm going to help you. All right? You're going to take a 360-degree deep breath. Expel on a S. Now, whether you made it to 30 the first time or not, I want everybody to start with 15 seconds. Because not only are we building your capacity, we're also working on your control as you expel that air. All right. Let me give you an example about why that's so important and why this is such a practical exercise. When you're singing a song in your choir and there's dynamic changes, the song gets louder, gets softer. When you learn how to expel that air, then you can play around and you can play around with the dynamics and the ebbs and flows of a song and make your phrasing, beautiful and melodic. That's where this comes into play. So regardless of whether or not you made 30 seconds the first time, I want everyone to start with 15 seconds. Taking a deep breath and expel 15 seconds. Once we've mastered that, move on to 20 seconds. Once you've mastered that, Move on to 25 seconds. You see a pattern here? Increase your time. You may end up being able to go longer than 30 seconds. That'll be a great thing. Actually, your director will probably love you for that. Okay? But the whole point is consistency and being intentional. All right? Practice makes perfect. All right. Well, hopefully I didn't hold you too long. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. But in closing, I want to remind you that singing is a total body activity. Total body activity. Do not, I repeat, do not rely solely on your vocal cords to provide the sound that you desire. Okay? We didn't get a chance to talk about the vocal cords themselves per se, but trust me, they will not work properly without proper breath support. They just won't, okay? As a matter of fact, you can potentially harm your vocal cords. 360-degree breathing can help relax your throat. It can reduce nasal sounds. It can help blend your register. When I say blend your register, I mean going from chest tone to head tones. It can improve your resonance. It can diminish the chances of vocal damage, as I said. And you get a handle on this breath support, you can actually widen your vocal range. All right. You may think, Brother Tommy, that's too high. I can't reach it. Work on your breath support and see what happens. God gave you this powerful instrument called the voice, and He gave it to you for the purpose of giving Him glory. So let us be intentional about taking care of that gift. That's my time, Shiloh. Thanks again for this opportunity. I pray that you would be blessed and stay well and stay encouraged and sing to the glory of God. Until we meet again.